You know him
I
from your
witness
church?
him all the time doing
from your church.
his very
stuff.
humble, self-giving things, like constantly.
What do we have here? Third mode brief. Is this what we're working on now?
That's what I handed out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long that I believe we finished the other stuff that I was working on. So I figured
I stole Steve's seat. So if he comes, he has to sit here.
Yeah.
He always sits here.
Yeah.
Let's see whether it makes him nervous to sit someplace.
So I figured we'll start third mode. It's another simple, straightforward mode, but it's a good place to start next. So we've done turn 1, we've done Plagal 4, brief for Vespers, so now turn 3, and we've done Plagal 1 too.
Does soft chromatic, which you were just doing, always change key in the middle?
Always change key in the middle?
Yeah, does it always have key changes in the middle of
Well, we were doing Plagal 4.
Oh, you were doing Plagal 4.
Yeah, but that hymn just word painting with enemy and devil and sin and things like that. Then it had hard chromatic, it had soft chromatic, it had zeros,
Okay.
everything in there, just to word paint. Plagal 4 has a lot of scale changes, it seems, just because you go from this happy quality to you want to nuance it, and you can't really paint sin very well with then the enemy,
too happy.
rolled over me. Then the enemy rolled over me. So,
I have a goal for this year, which I think is a simple goal.
Okay.
And I wanted to know if you had the music for it and you could do it, and that is, if we do the leaf-taking canon of St. John of Damascus, where each part of it is a different tone.
The leaf-taking canon.
Come let us give a last kiss to the dead.
That sounds very long.
Oh, that thing.
It's not that long, no. It's not that long. But each different major, verse you're doing is in a different mode.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, it would be like...
But that's from the funeral service, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I sing a lot of funeral services.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So if somehow or another we could fit something like that in, we could have an introduction to each one of the modes, even just by learning that.
I'll see. There's nothing written out for it, so I'd have to write it out. So, and that...
It's somewhere. Somebody has to have this.
Not in English. Not that I've seen.
Not in English.
Yeah.
The words in English are...
I know. Yeah.
Are in the pre-service.
Yeah. I'll see what we can do. I think it'd be too complicated, but I'll look through it and see what I can figure out. And I'll see if I have anything. But I know those 8 tones. I'll see what they look like. It would be definitely a good task, but I'll check it out.
It would be an introduction to the tones, one verse at a time.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're longer than just one verse. I thought it's an actual hymn for each thing. I'll look at it and we can see.
Well, there's actually 2 for each, but
I'll see what we can do. But for now, third mode, brief, and I'll just give a little introduction. Third mode. So this is the brief version of it. And so the brief mode, third mode in general, just starts on Ga. And it's in the diatonic scale. Although it ends up having a large percentage of flats, general flats that are applied to it, and we can talk about this. But so it's Ga, and then in general it ends on Ga as well, but it goes from Ga up to Ke, and then I guess I'll stay with 3. And then from there normally it goes down to Pa, and then from there it can stick around Pa, or it normally goes back to Ga eventually. But these in here are your kind of where it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not Ga, it's gonna go Ga di ke di ga hu pa, and then di ke zo ke di ga di ke zo ni zo ke di ga hu pa, and back and forth between these,
Yeah.
and then viga boo ga, and that's where we end finally, at the end of some sort of phrase, or at the end of the piece. So these are kind of like your tentative endings in here, where we haven't actually finished a thought, but ga is whenever we've actually finished something. And sometimes, if you really want to do something, it can go down the knee, but that's unique cases in general. So this is kind of the phrase, the framework. You'll see this in the music as well. And then the thing that we'll need to learn is that there's two symbols. The main one is this one for third mode. The other one's used in other modes. But this is the only time. So we've seen before this symbol, which is a flat. So what this symbol means is it's a generic flat on zo. So it just means zo flat. But it's placed on top of ka. So we'll see this in the music when it comes to it. But I just want to let you know.
So it means to go flat.
It means that ga di ke zo ke as opposed to ke zo ni zo ke, keeping zo flat all the time. And this is a general flat, so it doesn't go away. Same way that this one will go away and you don't use it once. This stays until it's corrected, until something else comes and changes it.
They put it on K, but it means you're keeping zo flat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it pulls down zo. It means that attraction between these gets stronger. And the only reason that I figured out with K is because K is the dominant note in this one. So if you're going to put it somewhere, you're going to see K a lot. So if you really want someone to notice it, you put it there.
So by the time you get to zo, you're
already
like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're going to expect, just like in this particular music, we're going to expect the various phrases to either end in pa or in K. And to resolve only at the end.
Yep. And like I said, you'll notice in Lord I've Cried, if you look at the framework, Lord I've Cried unto thee, hearken unto me, ends on pa. And then it goes to ni, which is that unique little case where it sometimes goes to ni, and then it goes to ke, then it goes to pa, then it ends on ga. So yeah, that's in general. It's always ga ke ga ke pa ke pa ke pa ke pa ke ga. So, but we'll see that. So, so we'll sing through this, and at some point I really want to do the Nipavu, but I think we haven't been doing that very much, and we haven't had a lesson for a long while. So it is tremendously helpful, and I am sad that I haven't done it.
I can see why it would be helpful, because if you're kind of like, where am I?
Yeah.
Then how do I get to that note?
Yeah.
And then if you have memorized like the intervals that way, that's how you can do. That's how I figured out today how it could be helpful.
Yep, exactly. And we had that earlier today where we had this weird tritone interval, which is in the Byzantine music. And if you know Vigavu, and we're going to zo, vu zo, vu zo. So vuga di ke zo ke vigavu, vu zo ke di, which was a hard interval for everyone to do, because it was either vu.
It sounds like vu is diminished.
Vuga di ke zo ke vigavu, vu zo.
They're both?
Was a diminished fourth.
Okay.
So it's a really hard interval. But if you know you're going to zo, it's kind of like
That's
It's stuff like that I have to like practice before I actually do it. I can't just like,
Oh, we messed it up, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna chant today. Come chant.
It doesn't happen that often. But eventually your ear gets used to it. And then if you know you're going
and if you see it, then you already know because you're familiar with it from just doing it. Okay.
The music's just a reminder normally. We should...
Hopefully we're not going to do this fast.
No, we won't do it very fast.
Do you generally have things memorized by now?
If I did them more often, I would. I have a lot of things memorized. And normally it's just like
reading the music is kind of like, oh right, that's how that thing goes.
I guess maybe I'm asking them because like for our liturgy, most of the stuff we do is the same every Sunday, and for Vespers it's the same every Vespers. You don't change it up, do you? Like,
of course we do.
No, I mean obviously like the hymns and stuff and the tones. There's 8 different. Right. Each week there's a different set, but it's the same set every 8.
Yeah, I mean so a friend.
Once you add the different canons, and once you add the different.
Well, all that stuff is obviously once a year sometimes
becomes very unique.
Well,
but
especially vigils.
Like for example, a friend of mine in Pittsburgh, we were chanting something, and he and I were roommates, and we would chant all the time together. So we memorized a lot of things because of that. And then when my friends came over who chants as well, he was our head chanter, and he said like in 10-1 the accept our whatever it goes. And then my friend and I were like, accept our evening prayers, O Holy Lord, and grant us the remission of sins, which is the first one. And he was like, wait, you guys have that memorized? We were like, well, of course we do. And it's kind of like, and then he was like, what about the second one? And then we sang the second one. And then he was like, what about the third one? And we were like, well, the third one goes like this. And the fourth one, we didn't remember how it started, but if we saw the words, it's like, oh, we know that one too.
Okay.
So
yeah.
We... Especially the brief ones, I know because I've sung them so often. The slow ones I don't know as well, and I wouldn't know them by memory necessarily.
They're really long and there's a lot to them.
They're longer, and I've never really sung them. I've sung them maybe a little bit here, but in Pittsburgh we never sang them. So, yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of this stuff, like probably for these I haven't looked at them yet, but I'll probably read them and be like, oh yeah, I know this. So we'll sing this kind of on the slower side. Na, that's our God. Lord, I have cried unto thee. Hearken unto me. Hearken unto me, O Lord. Lord, I have cried unto thee. Hearken unto me. Attend to the voice of my supplication. When I cry unto thee, hearken unto me, O Lord.
So it has a little diminished. Are we diminishing it, or is it already diminished?
Which, on the end?
Oh.
So that one, so there's a few things in here that, how it's often sung, especially in America, versus how it, really is interval-wise. If you're listening to some chanters, you'll hear, hearken unto me, O Lord. O Lord. Not very much
difference.
Sometimes it almost sounds like they're just going, oh Lord, just even the same note. It depends. It depends on the chanter, kind of how they articulate that.
It sounded like we were going too low.
Well, so the reason it's here is because of the diatonic scale. The ni pa vo ga di ga vo, slightly flat. So we don't want it to be me, oh Lord, me, oh Lord. We want it to be oh Lord.
I could not hear the difference.
Okay,
One was a whole step and one was kind of half.
one was a half step and one was closer to a whole step. So Vigavo, Vigavo, Vigavo. I don't know if you see the difference.
I hear the difference.
There is a difference.
I see it.
There is a difference there. But oftentimes,
I did hear that.
and the same thing, like let's say when I cry unto thee, the reason why you need this flat oftentimes is because the way it should be is when I cry unto thee, when I cry, as opposed to when I cry unto thee, which is how it's oftentimes sung. But technically we're in the diatonic scale, and so when I. So, but in general, we'll kind of ignore a lot of those things because I'm more interested in you learning the notes and the melodic contour, as opposed to the real nitty-gritty nuances of the intervals. So, but yeah, that's why that sharp is there, is to tell you don't go as flat as you would normally in diatonic scale. Keep it up. And sometimes people keep it very high. Do it again or move on?
Let's move on.
All right.
We could try and do it faster.
Hey, we'll do my prayer and then we'll go back and do it a little faster. Na na, let my prayer be set forth as incense before thee. The lifting up of my hands as an evening sacrifice, hearken unto me, O Lord. Cool.
I'm not going sharp enough
On which?
as I ascend in this mode.
On it's really the zo. Ke zo ni zo ke. Unless it's unless there's the little flat symbol there.
Yes.
So let's go back to Lord I Cried and do it a little faster. We'll go 1, 2, 1. Lord, I have cried unto thee. Hearken unto me. Hearken unto me, O Lord. Lord, I have cried unto thee. Hearken unto me. Attend to the voice of my supplication. When I cry unto thee, hearken unto me, O Lord. Cool. And if you ever hear me go, oh Lord, that's just interpreting it.
You did that the first time.
I did. Is that my prayer? 1, 2. Let my prayer be set forth as incense before thee. The me, O Lord. So continuing on to the brief Stikira. There's nothing too much. So the only thing before we go into the Stikira is on the second line of the Stikira, devil. Devil. That's just a fun little devil.
Facing the same mode.
And that's just one thing that people oftentimes trip up on. So,
thanks for the warning.
Hopefully it won't. And it's on the devil, so it's kind of meant to deceive you. Bring my soul out of prison. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may confess thy name. By thy cross, O Christ our Savior, the dominion of death has been destroyed, and the deception of the devil has been abolished, and the race of man, having been saved by faith, doth ever offer praise to thee.
I had the tempo right, I just went the wrong way.
Yep. Oh, you went duh, or yep. So duh, and that's one of
I
those.
was all proud of myself in advance of like getting the tempo right, and then I
Ah.
went the wrong way.
That's the devil right there.
The devil,
The
pride.
yeah. So with that oftentimes in Pittsburgh, it gave like a little like duh. There's a little head bounce because everyone always like
Oh.
duh dun dun. Because that comes
like
back.
The Indian thing.
It comes back time and time again. So devil has been abolished. All right, by the cross of Christ our Savior. We'll do it a little bit faster and try and get the devil in our snare. By thy cross, O Christ our Savior, the dominion of death has been destroyed, and the deception of the devil has been abolished, and the race of man, having been saved by faith, doth ever offer praise to thee. Nice. How was that?
I didn't quite get it, all of it.
All right. Any question, or is it?
My brain wasn't catching up.
Just do the tempo of deception of the devil as a phrase.
At tempo, or?
At tempo.
And the deception of the devil hath been abolished. And you can go faster too, but.
The deception of the devil hath been abolished.
And it's very. And the deception of the devil hath been abolished. Yep, abolished. And the deception of the devil hath been abolished. Another time. And the deception of the devil hath been abolished.
Okay, can you break it down for me, abolish, like, how the notation makes that work? I guess the first part of it, because I know the second part.
Let me erase the board.
Take that.
Alright.
The flutter because it's lengthened, so there's time enough for it.
Oh, it's the flutter we're
See,
doing.
it's
Yeah.
the flutter.
Throwing me off.
So there's time enough for that to kind of match this.
I'm just trying to get,
So
It's
So
a
this is what we
matching
have,
thing.
right?
like I just do it because I'm learning it from doing it, but I want to understand it too. So if I'm
Yep.
by myself, I can be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do.
So this is apostrophes with the chiasm on top. You know, and you know these guys. So this just means down one, down one. And then chiasm. So So this is this is 2 beats, right? And then this is a half a beat. This makes it 1.5 beats. So 1, 2, and 3. So now, if we take, does this make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, so now if we take this becomes this, just because that's the way you write it. So this now is da, da. So we're good. Now, if I put a flutter here, da, but I still want to go down, da, da, da. So that's where we end up getting this flutter underneath, but now we have to hold the flutter. Da, ba,
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Keep going or like move
Yes.
on or.
Move on.
And then you have the same thing on the next one, having, the third line.
Right.
Having. It's like instead of the apostrophos, you have finissimo. Just the third line of the secure number 1 we're looking at. Okay. So secure number 2. The righteous. The righteous shall wait patiently for me until thou shalt reward me. So do you see the phrasing of this? And all these, the one thing that's different with third mode is that you start on ga, but the verse ends on pa. Because the next hymn is going to start from pa.
Okay.
So in that, a lot of times if you look at certain hymns when they're written out, you might not have the verse written out like this, but the first note it'll say pa. So you have to know da 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 da, and then you're gonna end there. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense in the context. Okay, so all things have been enlightened. Let's see. All things have been enlightened by thy resurrection, O Lord, and paradise is opened again. And whilst acclaiming thee, the whole of creation doth ever offer praise to thee. Nice. In between creation and doth, either I put a chiasma on shun in the third line, or I put a little plus sign there, the stavros, the cross, to tell you to breathe or to take a little pause. Because, and whilst acclaiming thee the whole of creation, I need something there. Otherwise I won't make it to the end. That needs me. So I either need a breath or I need a hold. So just to let you know, especially in case you're ever singing with me and I do something. That's why. And whilst acclaiming thee the whole of creation, you could just finish it, doth ever offer praise to thee.
So in other words, you would hold it, you would add a...
Whole of creation doth ever... Or you could do whole of creation doth ever... Just a little pause. Normally by this time... Yeah, catch breath. Normally by this time we need a catch breath because after Blood I've Cried, then all the psalm verses, and then the first one, then you're kind of like, I need a little, especially if there's no beat choir and you're doing everything, you need a pause to breathe. So let's do it a little faster.
Wait.
All things.
I want to figure out the first note.
Okay, that's pa.
So pa is where we start. And then we have to figure out where we go from pa. Okay, just make sure.
Pa.
No, we're not starting on pa. Like, we're not singing pa.
Right, but I'm giving you pa.
Oh.
So, what is the note? What is the note we start on?
Isn't it?
Pa.
It's up 2, right?
No.
Up 3?
Up 3. Yep.
Oh, up 2 would be...
On the side or underneath? Okay, so what note is that?
D?
D. Pavugadi. 1, 2, 1. All things have been enlightened by thy resurrection, O Lord, and paradise is opened again. And whilst acclaiming thee, the whole of creation doth ever offer praise to thee. Nice. How'd that feel?
It's gonna take me a while to get used to knowing scales and which note to go and diminished.
Yep. No problem. In time. Like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but the degree, like if you want to read this and be a chanter in Greece, it's a 4 or 5 year degree. You know, like a music degree. So you go and this is all you do. Okay. Like a conservatory.
But it takes 5 years every day of doing it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the shortened version. Like it used to take 25, and then they figured out how to relax that and be like, oh, you can actually learn this in 5. They had a new system called the new method. Oh. So which is what we were learning from now.
Are you attempting to do it all in English now, so we don't have to go to Greece?
The 5-year program?
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You're doing it right now, right? This is the 5-year program.
Well, the fact that we're not doing it like all day, every day.
This is where
but it's what? But it's the same thing.
This is they go through the this is actually how they go through they go through the Anastasiometarion, this book of the resurrection, which is the 8 tones, all the resurrectional music, and they go straight through it, go through Vespers, go through Matins, and then normally by that time you're doing pretty good.
Okay.
So. And everything. Normally, what they do is they do everything paralegi, the note names, twice, and then they do it once on the hymn. So this would be the ga voga the, and then another time a little faster.
Do they take it home and practice it all day?
Well, this is their students, you know. Yeah. So they have homework too. So.
Right.
Yep. And then they learn theory in the classes, and they learn how to put the services together, and they learn theology behind that too. But yes, it's kind of just like a music school would be. So.
When they put an ease on top of the note, what does that do to what's underneath?
So what happens there? So on cried, that's just the oligon, which is on the bottom, is just there to support. So it's telling you that it's not a super accented note, but it's slightly accented.
Okay.
So out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. So
but
have
other than that, it's just a normal E sound.
Right, it's just a normal E sound, just with a little just a little slight accent, but not as much as the patasti on thee. So out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. So out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Have I cried? You know, see, that tells you, because these are also speaky, you know, this is in the speaking tempo. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. It's telling you.
Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord.
Right, it's telling you how to phrase it as well.
Oh, right.
Because I've seen it sometimes where it's, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. That's mechanical, and it's not at all how it's meant to be.
Okay.
So, because that's reading it correctly, but the rhythm there is not to tell you, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. It's meant to, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Very fluid. And then right after that, O Lord, hear my voice, I glorify. So the last phrase is the right tempo for the hymn. At least it should be. So, but yeah, so it's just a slight emphasis. Out of the depths. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. I glorify the might of the Father and the Son and the power of the Holy Spirit do I praise. Even the indivisible, uncreated Godhead, the Trinity, one in essence, reigning unto eternity forever.
You added a little thing.
I did. Yep. So there's a few things here. First, we'll work backwards. So ever, that when you have the viria before like two symbols, normally that tells you that little stress mark.
Okay.
That nam. That's one way to interpret it. You can just go ever. But one way that is normal to do it is ever. There's another method that I'm really bad at, but ever, where they would no, and I wouldn't do that right now because I can't figure it out. But it's Stanitsas does it a lot, and his choir. But the thing that I would like to do is ever. Yep.
It's so boring.
No, it's not boring.
Now when you're doing it fast.
If we're doing it
I
regular speed,
glorify the might.
see, this is really fast, so
Mm-hmm.
see the little double thingy there? This is like double fast, and by the time we do it double fast, it's not boring anymore. You're just trying to get the notes.
So, reigning unto eternity forever. And it's not that. It's not there's something I have to learn it again. I got it once when I was in a lesson.
Rita Rona sometimes has this like dying cow, cat, to stop, like, it's like a break in his voice kind of a thing.
Okay.
That it was on purpose, like it's a Byzantine chant thing.
Dying cow, cat.
I'm sorry, it just sounds so like.
Can you imitate it?
Awful.
Like what? Like when would he do this?
Just during whatever chant he's.
Okay.
chanting.
I'm just curious what this means. But
I just want to sound like John Boyer.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's good.
I just want to sound like John Boyer and have a totally mellifluous voice.
I remember those.
We can play a recording at the end.
Pure.
If you want to hear a recording and we can sing this, and then I can bring up a recording of him singing stuff if you want.
Was he Greek or Russian?
No, he's
American. But he's a Greek American. But
no, he's only half Greek.
I mean, like.
Well, that's still Greek American.
It's just the
to me.
Greek chant.
He worked hard to learn the Greek. He had to work really hard to learn the Greek.
But I mean, he's got Greek background. Like it's not like he's just.
Yeah, but not that much.
He's not a convert, is what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
So I have no Greek background, so I would not be a Greek American. I have very little. My Romanian background is like nil, and Russian. So I'm kind of, in as much as I have an ethnicity, I'm much more American than anything.
I always check the little box that says other.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because if you're a lot of different things, what should you choose? I just put American other.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see.
Absolutely.
So, sticker number 3. Oh, wait, no, we didn't actually sing it. No, we did. So.
It's time.
Raining. So rain on the 3rd line. How many notes up is that?
It's a, oh. Four plus 2 is 6. So it would go up a 7.
Up a 7th, yeah. Up 6 notes. Which brings us from pa up to.
Just when you asked, I just wasn't sure. Oh, okay. So we go from pa to me.
Nice.
And we go to Panera. And get
Panini.
Panini.
Okay, so I glorify the might of the Father and of the Son.
Okay.
I glorify the might of the Father and the Son and the power of the Holy Spirit do I praise. Even the indivisible, uncreated Godhead, the Trinity, one in essence, reigning unto eternity forever. Cool.
I breathe there instead of just.
So, do you want to do 4 or listen to John Boyer now?
Let's do John Boyer.
Okay. So I'll bring up a few things.
I don't believe we actually have that on this computer. How nice.
I have things that people don't have on this computer.
Send them.
I might be able to. I might be able to send you a link to them.
Now I'm feeling like I should have gotten that other Koviv monastery recording, because the one I have I think is their first. And they were still learning a couple things.
It was very, very nice though. Okay, so here's one thing.
I threw more money at them, but I didn't get
Blessed is the man that hath not walked in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stood in the way of sinners, nor sat in the seat of the pestilent. Hallelujah. shall bring forth its fruit in its seasons, and its leaves shall not fall, and all things whatsoever he may do shall prosper. Hallelujah. Not so are the ungodly, not so, but rather they are like the chaff which the wind doth hurl away from the face of the earth. Hallelujah.
So that's fast. He also, if you listen to him do slow stuff, and I do have
And he's not changing the E sound at all. He's just it's just on one note.
So this is him doing the intonations for these things.
Number 1.
Are you sending them?
But you can hear the little things in his voice. But little, like, lots of vocal undulations.
Actually, the same one, only in the long interpretation.
That's if you're beginning a hymn. It's really
He
super.
just really flutters that so beautifully.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find one more thing.
Are you sending this?
Some of I can
You
send.
can send a few at a time, and then we can have all of them.
So this is Arvanitis with John Boyer.
Oh, good. Which Albanites? That just means Albanian.
Ioannis Arvanitis.
Okay.
Yeah, they sound like they're shouting.
Hmm?
They sound like they're shouting. It's not annoying.
So it is the day of resurrection in English, but the super slow long version, composed by Arvanitis.
I've seen compositions by him.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, he wrote it in the old notation, and then he interpreted it for the rest of us.
Is that his for real last name?
Arvanitis.
It just means Albanian.
That's his name. Yeah, he's from Greece.
Yeah. Albanite.
Ioannis Arvanitis. Yeah. But John is very, very cool. He actually chanted Vespers here one time with me.
Wow.
I didn't know he was coming, and then somebody else, everyone else was like, can you bring those? It was him and Richard Barrett, a friend of his and a friend of mine. And they were like, can you bring them back? It was like, that was a one-time thing. They just happened to be down here for something, and they knew that we had Vespers.
Yeah.
So,
He's also supposedly religious.
Hmm?
He's also supposedly religious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is not just a hobby.
no, he went to seminary too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's people who do chant just for fun?
Yeah.
And they're not
There are.
religious?
Mhm.